Hello everyone. My name is Ruben, and I'm working with Caleb Dalphiny today to show you guys how to set up a network using a Cisco packet tracing. So to begin, they have the requirements to fill out this following addressing table, and to do that we had to do a little bit of subnetting. So the first thing we're going to do here is for branch A on interface 00. The address they give us is 172.20.16.0 and with a /23, which means that the subnet mask will be a 255.55.0254 because it is, yes. This is the address for the first interface on the router, our branch A router, to switch A1 and PCA1 because it needs 500 hosts. And the /23 will give it 500 usable hosts. On gigabit 01, it asks for 250 hosts. So we are going to give it 172.20.18.1 because we the first three octants here are for the network address, and we skip over 17 because 17 is used by 000. And we change this one to a /24 because the /24 network provides enough hosts that is required. That's for IPv4 on branch A. On branch B, we move into IPv6. And the address they give us, which goes as follows: 2001 BB8 FEDE and 00FF. We do .1 because that is the first usable address that we assign to the router. And with IPv6, it's written in hexadecimal, and the subnet address that we did previously in IPv4 shown here is already implemented into the IPv6 address, which is this here, characters. And this is the host address given. So moving on to 01, it would be 2001 BB8. This one we have to switch to the next available one, and since hexadecimal is written as 01 through 09, it goes on to 0A, 0B, and to all the way to FF, and that's the last two octants that you could possibly use, so you switch it to 100 .1, which will be the first usable address again. Okay, and now we have to configure the IP addresses for the route for the network. We're going to go back to gigabit 01, and we're going to configure PCA here. So for that address, the packet trace asks us to use the last usable one for IPv4 addresses. So the last usable one on a /23 network would be 172.20.16, or not, sorry, .17.254. This is because the network has 500 hosts, and with 255 hosts, that .16 can only support 255 hosts. So then to go to 250 hosts, sorry, and then to get 500, you have to flip the network address one to go to .17, and that makes it the last usable address, and it still remains the same subnet mask of /23. For PCA2, that was the /24 network associated with this interface, and the last usable for this one would be 172.20 120.18.254 and with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 because that's a /24 network. For PCB, which is the Ipv6 addresses, the package HHS is assigned the 16th usable IP address. And in hexadecimal form, well, let me write out the address first. Okay, so .10 is a 16th usable address for the interface 001 because that is the one connected here to PCB1. So that's the 16th usable because in hexadecimal form it goes 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, etc. And those are the usable addresses that that can be assigned to the PCs. And then if you go down that form, the 16th usable one would be 1010. And continuing on for PCB2, it would also be the 16th usable, but this one is for gigabit 01, this address here. And it is 0100, ::10 again, with the prefix of 64. And that's the addressing table complete. I will move over to my partner Caleb, who will configure the routers.
Still live? Yep. Okay. Hello. I'm going to be continuing from where Ruben left off. I'm going to be setting up the or configuring the routers. So we'll go ahead and start with branch A. So to configure, we're going to go into the CLI tab and hit enter. And the first thing we're going to do is type enable, which is going to allow us to configure settings. And the first thing we're going to do is assign the host name, which basically is just used for organization and keeping track of what you're actually configuring. So you're going to want to type in host name, and we'll just name it branch A. Oh, forgot, you need to go to configure terminal as well. There you go. And then once you've configured that, you're going to want to enable a password so that not everyone can just, get into your router. So in order to do that, you're going to enable class, just like that. So easy as that. And then once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and encrypt all passwords. And in order to do that, you go ahead and type just like that. So now all the passwords are encrypted. And then next we are going to go into line console. Console 0. And then once we're there, we're going to go ahead and assign the addresses that Ruben has set up for us. So we're going to assign the password to line console 0, which is going to be Cisco. Just like that. So once we've done that, now we can assign the So we're going to go ahead and go into the interface for the specific port we're going to assign this to. Okay, so now we're on interface gigabit Ethernet 0, and we're going to go ahead and do IP our address in here. 72.20.1 subnet 255. Alright, now we're going to move on to the, forgot to do no shutdown. No shutdown is basically what actually makes the port go up. Without that, it'll be turned off basically. So. As you can see there, it's just said change its state to up. So. To interface 01, and we're going to do the same thing here, just for this specific address for this. Okay, do shutdown, change state to up, we're all good there. Get out of that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to branch B and basically do the same thing. So we can edit the settings, configure terminal, host name, then we're going to go enable secret class, service password encryption to encrypt all the passwords. Then we're going to go into line console 0. Assign our password there as well. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and assign our port addresses on this one as well. And this one's going to be an Ipv6, so it's going to be slightly different. Computer doesn't freeze. And I can't read this, Ruben. 2001. DB8. F8. 0FF. /64. That was an incomplete command. Alright, there we go. And then we'll put it to up by doing no shutdown. Change it up. And then on the run X interface. Six. 1. 8. FE A DE 0. Down. Oh, okay, so now we gotta set our link local. That would do IPv6 address. Define it as link local. Done. So now, we forgot to do that for 0, 0, so we're going to do that for that as well. So let's go back to that interface. Six. Yes. Link. Enough. Alright. So that's about all I have to do. I'm now going to pass it back over to Ruben.
Okay. So with Caleb figuring the addresses, he made a slight error. It's okay though, we can fix that. On goes it. On gigabit 0, on gigabit 0, 0, the IP address was typed in just wrong. So we'll fix our now by typing in no IPv6 address. DV8. This will recorrect the previously put IP address. And then we can see which is it supposed to be. A2 and A. That should work, yes. on the port, which already is. Okay, with that corrected already, we can exit the router and start configuring the PC addresses. So we're going to start PCA. The address for this will be 172. We configure this already with the addressing table. As the packet tracer requests, it wants it to be the last usable address. 17.254 with a subnet mask which is /23, which makes it a 255.255.254.0, and default gateway being 172.20.16.1. And we have to configure the DNS server, which is shown right here, which does have to connect to the given address of 172.20.32.10. PCA2. Again, 172.20.18, but they want us to use last usable, which is 254. But this one was a /24, so it shall remain 255.255. Default gateway is the router's address, the one that Caleb configured. .1. Same DNS server. Moving on to the Ipv6 Figurations. PCB1 will be 2001:DB8 FEDE 00FF. And this portion of the address is the network portion, and then this portion is the subnet, which is implemented into Ipv6. We didn't explain beforehand. And this part here, the 10, which is the 16th usable address, which they request us to use, that is what we're assigning for the /64. The default gateway is the link local address that Caleb configured, which is FE80::B, and the DNS server being the one they give to us. Also : Moving on, PCB2, again Ipv6. This one is 2001:DB8:FEDE. This is the one we changed to 0100 that Caleb configured into the router. That's also /.10 because it is the 16th usable with a prefix of 64. Default gateway again, link local that Caleb put on the router interface. Then, once more, DNS server that is given to us. And we also have to do, what I actually just forgot, is the interface 0 gigabit 02, which they gave to us with the addressing table. So to configure that, I basically just have to do what Caleb did, but into a different interface. This one is for IPv4, 172.20.31.254. And this subnet mask is a /30, which means it can only support 2 hosts, which is needed for the router to connect to the central server. No shutdown turns the status to up. Do that again with branch B, this time being IPv6. So we log into 02. The address is 2001. And this port, again, connects the router to the central. Arduino shutdown on the port. And I believe that is it. The packet tracer okay, we're gonna check this ultra quick because we're missing something. Oh, the VTY passwords. We can fix that quickly. Branch B login was not put. On branch B, we still need to configure the VTY password. Which is the same process that Caleb did with the line console password. Branch B, I did not configure the link local address. Do that. Type IPv6 address, F80. Which is we use this link local address because it's the one that they given to us. And I believe that I'm gonna check results again because we seem to still be missing something. Okay, so on branch B, line console, the console password is not given its login correctly. So we do that again, line console 0, password Cisco, and this enables people to log in to switch or the router with the password. And VTY is the telnet. Password Cisco is needed to get into it. And the IPv6 address here is configured wrong on 01. It should be 2001.db8 FADE colon 0100 colon 1/60. And yes, the packet tracer has been completed with that final command. It shows right there completion.